Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to another hypnotizing episode of Dick Rogers, Space Detective.
So, Eleanor, we have you to thank for the discovery of this month's episode, is that right?
Yeah. Why are you so surprised, Mike? I was visiting my hometown for my birthday to see my family, and I told my uncle about this podcast. He shared with me that in his younger days, he was actually a DJ for a local radio station that has since gone under, and now he has all the Fidelipacks.
Huh?
Okay, nothing? Finally, some nerdy thing I know more about than all of you. Yes! NAB cartridges are basically analog magnetic recording tape, but a lot more sturdy than 8-tracks. Please don't tell me I have to explain 8-tracks. Anyway, the radio station went out of business in 2002. My grandma heard that it was because the owner was accused of broadcasting the incorrect weather report to discourage anyone from going to the golf course so that he could play his 18 holes in peace, which turns out is illegal, but very difficult to prove. Look, Trump's still not in jail, and he did the same thing while he was president. It's pretty clearly unethical and caused him to lose all his advertisers. My uncle attended the auction held after the station closed, and in a fit of nostalgia purchased the whole lot of NAB cards and the machine to play them. He let me look through them, and I was able to find one Dick Rogers episode. Since I don't have a cart player, he let me listen to the episode over and over until I transcribed it word for word.
Why didn't you just use your phone to record the episode?
That's a very good question, Mike, and one that would have saved me a lot of time during my vacation had I thought of it.
Well, are you ready to introduce the show?
Yeah! In today's episode, we find a young Dick Rogers, fresh out of the Jiff Academy and headed undercover in Dick Rogers and the Illuminated Darkness.
Dick, this is your first big case as a rookie space detective.
I feel like I need more time, boss. I mean, I'm only 6 months out of the academy.
Yes, well, you solved that case of the purse snatcher, didn't you?
The lady just didn't remember that she put it in her closet. It took like 5 minutes to find it.
But you did! And what about that missing persons case?
The lady also didn't remember that her son had moved out 3 years ago.
Well, see? You figured these things out, and that took a real gumshoe attitude. Plus, you're the youngest looking guy on the force, and we need youth for this job. You're going undercover, kid.
Are you sure I can handle it, sir?
Look, Dickie, I'm sending you back to school, college, so it'll feel just like you're back in the academy again. No big deal. We're sending you to Washington Galactic University. We've seen a huge surge of illegal sales of bootleg digipacks, tiny microbar codes that send bits of information, usually a bit of music or an image of artwork, that the youth these days wear as charms to tell a story.
Well, that doesn't sound so...
It's not bad until scammers start to use hidden messages embedded in the art and music that subtly influence these students into doing whatever the scammers want. Right now, it appears that they are primarily convinced to do a ridiculous thing that has been dubbed streaking. Apparently, it causes kids to take off their clothes and run naked around campus. If we aren't careful, these digipacks could spread, and before we know it, we'll have a bunch of naked folk running around aimlessly.
Gee, that sounds awful. I hope I don't have to see anyone streaking.
I hope, for your sake, that you don't. I've heard it's quite dramatic. So, you'll be transferring in at the start of the new semester as a junior. Your major is intergalactic communications, and you have a roommate named Charlie. We think he and some of his friends are linked to the digipack sales on campus, but we need you to find out. No communication with HQ unless absolutely needed, you hear? Now get out of here and go get packed. The new semester starts tomorrow.
I packed my meager belongings and caught the hover bus. Space detectives travel light. As I traveled to campus, a bajillion thoughts running through my mind. I was excited and nervous for my first real case, an undercover job at that. Would I fit in? Will the kids there like me? Should I get a haircut first? Oh, and will I actually be able to solve this case? I headed to my dorm room to meet my new roomie. I entered the room to find a small but tidy room, just big enough for 2 desks, 2 dressers, and 2 beds, mirroring each other. Seated at the desk was a stocky guy with a thick mustache and a quiet look about him that could have hidden inner peace and calm or simmering hatred.
Oh, Hey, man. The name's Charlie.
Dick, nice to meet you. He got up and shook my hand, motioning to one half of the room.
This side here's yours. Got yourself a pretty good work lamp here on the desk. I had the dorm mother grab you some sheets and stuff. I hope you like gray.
Yeah, gray is cool. Just fine, thank you.
Cool. Well, hey. You want a beer?
At 10:30 in the morning?
Yeah. Well, there's that BevApp auto distributor. If you want anything, just push the button on the front.
Thanks.
So, transfer student? Cool. Hey, you're new here, so I'll give you some advice. Just watch your back.
Why? What's going on around here? Have you heard about anything strange?
Dude, put the notebook away. It's nothing that complicated. It's just that the kids here, they can be tough. And you seem like a sensitive dude is all. Don't want them to run all over you or anything.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'm tough enough. Maybe I will take one of those beers. We each had a beer as I checked my schedule. I realized my first class of the day, Device Communication Lab, was next, and after unpacking my few pairs of dungarees and socks, I headed out.
Class, please welcome Dick. He is a transfer student, so make him feel welcome.
25 pairs of eyes turned towards me, the weight of their stares forcing me to avert my eyes, biting my bottom lip as I tried to think of something to say.
Dick, why don't you go sit in that open seat by Stella? Stella, please make sure he is caught up on where we ended last semester.
I saw the open seat, and then I saw her. Long, flowing brown hair, sufficient eyebrows, and brown eyes. A sensible cardigan covered her light blue t-shirt. As she stood to make room for me, I saw the long khaki skirt that tied the whole ensemble together. Beautiful. Incredible. Heat radiated from my face, and I'm sure I looked like a bright, ripe tomato.
Hey, Dick, have a seat.
And that voice, dulcet tones even the sweetest bird song couldn't match. At that moment, I knew true love. But just as suddenly, torn out of my reverie, I saw it. A plasticine bangle bracelet glittering with small charms, silver and delicate. I recognized them immediately from the chief's portfolio. Digipacks! Had this siren just become my number one suspect? How could I love her so completely and at the same time have an overwhelming desire to arrest her? In that moment, I knew fate had dealt me a wicked hand.
Hey, it's Skeevy Mike here from Skeevy Mike's Fork Emporium. We buy, sell, and trade forks of all proportions. Bent tines? That's okay. Missing tines? Sure. Too many tines? We say there's no such thing. Need to offload a bunch of forks in a hurry due to a little issue with the IRS? Great, we'll take them for a small fee. Now, sometimes you may just have no forks left to give. Well, get ready to get forked. Skeevy Mike's Fork Emporium is a full-service fork store, and our experts will happily fork you. Or you can go fork yourself and take the time to stroll through our aisles at your own pace. My Fork Emporium is fun for the whole family. Come down to the intersection of Bundy and 5th and go right at the fork. Bring your mother, and I'll ensure she's forked right in the mouth.
3 weeks later, I was no closer to solving this case, but I had grown closer to Stella. Always just out of touch, until one fateful evening we were studying for a physical communication exam. So Stella, you seem to know quite a few people around campus.
Sure, I suppose so. It's a small campus, so by junior year you get to know pretty well everyone, except the transfer students like you, but I think we're working on that.
Transfer students, plural?
Yeah, you and 3 other kids who transferred in at the beginning of last semester. Haven't you met them? I kind of thought all all you transfer students just automatically knew each other. I've seen them around campus, but haven't really talked to them. They seem to be attached at the hip, and I see them around a lot at parties and stuff.
Interesting. And, where did you get that bracelet? It's really neat.
Thanks. My friend Alice gave it to me. They are really neat. Each one of these charms is a digipack. It plays bits of music, and each one represents a different funny story or artist we like. Want to hear one?
No, I mean, we probably shouldn't play them at the library, yeah? I had grabbed her wrist to stop her from playing the digipack and could feel her pulse under my thumb. It was beating fast as we stared into each other's eyes. Then she yawned, causing me to yawn, and I let go of her wrist as we giggled quietly. It's almost midnight, and the library is about to close. I suppose we should pack up and try and get some rest.
But I'm not sure I totally understand the difference between Laserdiscs and DVDs. All this ancient tech is so tricky to remember.
Well, we can't go back to my room. Charlie passed out at 6 after drinking a 6-pack and cleaning his blaster for the 8th time this week. He looked so peaceful when I left. I don't want to disturb him.
Well, Dick, how about coming back to my room?
Are you sure? I mean, yeah, we could do that if you want.
I think I'm ready to show you my room, Dick.
We walked swiftly across campus to her room, both of us excited but contemplative and quiet. As we walked the last steps to her room, she grabbed my hand and it felt like perfection.
I'm ready to let you in, Dick. But first, I need you to promise me you can keep a secret.
Maintaining some memory of what I came here to accomplish, I swiftly crossed my fingers behind my back. I smiled, then bashfully looked away, biting my lip as butterflies of nervousness flittered through my stomach. Of course I can, Stella. She smiled back at me, cupping my cheek with her hand to bring my eyes back up to connect with hers.
I want you to know that you are free to leave at any time. What's behind this door may be quite a shock to you.
Why? Are you bad at keeping your room clean? Me too. Don't tell Charlie, but I accidentally forgot half a pizza under my bed last week, and he couldn't figure out what smelled like feet.
Ugh, no, Dick, it's not like that. But I want you to know I meant what I said. Say the word, and I'll call a flying car to take you back to your room.
Stella, just show me what's behind this door. She leaned in as if to unlock the door, but then leaned in a little more, connecting her luscious lips to mine in a kiss that made me see stars. I entwined my fingers in her hair and dove deeper into the kiss, willing it to last an eternity, sinking deeply into love and losing all sense of time, place, and purpose. She was all, and I was nothing, nothing without her. At last, she pulled away, both of us coming up for air, gasping. With a gleam in her eyes, she slowly turned the key in the lock, opened the door, and revealed what lay beyond.
This is my red room, Dick.
Cut. Eleanor, what the H-E double hockey sticks is this? This sounds suspiciously like Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey fanfiction.
Interesting that you could tell, Mike. Let me guess. I'm not the only one who read Master of the Universe before it was edited and turned into the New York Times bestselling book by E.L. James.
Oh, whoa. No, of course not. But wait, don't try and make this about me. Now you know we have listeners of all ages, so why don't you do a quick rewrite and we'll get back to this. I'll cut this interruption out in post, and we'll come back in after a commercial break.
Fine. I'll get rid of all the good parts.
Unique.
For the girl working on her car who never breaks a nail.
Unique. Beauty.
For the girl who's runway ready without makeup.
Beauty. Active.
For the girl who plays ball in heels.
Active. Guzzle.
For the girl who drinks guys under the table.
Guzzle.
Individual.
For the girl who's different, there's not like other girls.
Unique. Beauty. Active.
Guzzle.
Individual.
Not like other girls. The new fragrance for women.
After I told Stella that I thought we should just head to bed and study during breakfast in the morning, I went back to my own room. I knew that having any fun at all would take away from my true purpose, figuring out who was selling these digipacks. I had to stay focused while staying close to Stella. My detective senses kept pointing me in her direction, no matter how wrong it was. She may just be the key to all of it. My heart and this case. The following week, the Nonverbal Communication and Historical Context class rode the mag train out of the city on a field trip to the local greenhouse. Students were excitedly discussing plans for an upcoming concert. At the front of the train car, the weird transfer kids were sitting with another student, an overly muscled, preppy-type guy. Without my keen space detective eyes, I would have missed the exchange of money for a baggie filled with what I could only assume were digipacks. The guy pulled one out of the bag and walked over to my friend, Stella, who was seated just a few rows ahead of me.
Hey, Stella, how's it going? I've just been working on my bike lately. You really need to get back over to my shop so we can give your truck a tune-up.
Yeah, I probably do need to change the gravifluid and check the mag levers in that old rust bucket.
Oh, by the way, got you another digipack for your bracelet to get you in the mood for the concert this weekend. I know how much you love experimental, smooth MIDI jazz. On that note, you going with anyone? Here, let me add it to your bracelet.
Give that to me, Jacoby. I'll do it. And if she's going with anyone, it's me.
Actually, Alice, I have to sit this one out.
Stella, no!
Why?
Aw, come on.
I have to go home for the weekend. My mom is getting remarried or whatever.
To that space-based ball player?
Yeah, so I gotta go to that.
This whole my mom's marrying a space-based ball player sounded like a load of funny business to me, so I cornered Stella as we walked through the greenhouse. Stella, what's this I hear about your mom getting married?
How did you know about that?
You didn't answer my question.
Well, you're always asking a bunch, but never really answering mine. You didn't even say hi to me.
Hi.
Yeah, so I have to go to my mom's second wedding. They're usually a lot smaller than first weddings, and they planned it kind of last minute.
Huh. It's an interesting time to get married as a space-based ball player since it's the middle of the season.
Yeah, well, the team has a bye week, and my mom is slightly impulsive. And I am too, Dick. Come on, let's go on our own little field trip.
She grabbed my hand and we ran out of the back of the greenhouse towards some deep woods. Her story tracked, but something still felt off. I knew if I wanted to get to the bottom of this, I had no choice but to follow this beautiful woman into the unknown.
This place is beautiful. I thought it would be nice to get away and have a little fun.
Oh, yeah, super fun. So, you said you got that bracelet from Jacoby? Do you know where he got it?
Dick, are you jealous?
Who? Me? Of Jacoby? No, why would I mean, of course not.
Look, Dick, you're always asking questions. Really observant. Your skin is pale white, always taking notes, writing in that notebook. I only ever see you eat donuts and drink coffee. And sometimes you speak like you're from a different place. The way you dress, that brown trench coat, even in class, you're always wearing that fedora. I know what you are.
Don't say it. Don't say it out loud.
You're a private eye.
You found me out. This is the jacket of a space detective, Stella.
Eleanor, I thought you said you took out the Twilight stuff. Wait a sec. Eleanor, did you just write this whole script as fanfiction and then try to pass it off as Dick Rogers? Was any of the info in the introduction true?
Fine. You got me. Apparently Dick's not the only detective solving mysteries around here.
So, you mean to tell me that your uncle didn't give you any Fidelity packs?
Okay, look. So I don't actually have an uncle. But I mean, it's not the first episode we've taken into our own hands and written in the style of Dick Rogers. I wrote this as if in a fever dream late one night.
After a Twilight 50 Shades marathon?
Coburn, don't encourage her. Well, I don't even know what to say.
Well, I mean, I guess I want to hear how it ends. Don't you, Mike?
Yeah! Coleman, thanks for having my back. Bring it in, buddy.
Don't push it. No hugs.
High five?
All right, let's just get this thing recorded.
The night of the concert had arrived, and since Stella was out of town, I had nothing better to do. I walked past the quad and started to take the shortcut through the woods towards the Union, the sounds of the band already undulating through the cool night air. Suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I saw the slightest flicker of something. Months of training in the academy had honed my night vision to that of a hawk. Well, a night hawk, I guess. I headed towards the bushes, swiftly reaching into the depths, pulling a person into the dim streetlight. Stella?
Dick? Dick, what are you doing here?
I'm going to the concert. Thought I'd take the shortcut you showed me. What are you doing here? I thought your mom was getting married. Suddenly, a pale figure flashed past the trail back onto the open quad. Totally naked and giggling maniacally, Jacoby paused to howl at the moon.
Oh!
Quick, Stella, we have to get him. He can't be streaking on campus. It's indecent.
I wouldn't mind getting a closer look.
We ran onto the quad, and I managed to grab Jacoby's flailing arms as he twirled in the moonlight. Jacoby, stop! Quick, Stella, grab his other arm. We have to stop that digipack before we are overcome with the urge to streak. It was almost too late. Stella had started taking off her jacket, and next her shoes. I knew it was up to me. I twisted Jacoby's arm behind his back, wrenching it upwards while swiftly grabbing the digipack he had clutched between his thumb and forefinger. I threw it to the ground and stomped hard with the heel of my Academy-issued boots. The music stopped, and Jacoby and Stella snapped out of their trance.
Hey, transfer kid, thanks, man. I don't know what came over me.
Jacoby, where did you get this digipack?
Why do you care? Jealous that Stella likes my digipack? And everything else I'm packing?
All right, boys, enough of that. How about we just find your clothes and go to this concert?
No, well, yes, I do want to find your clothes, and the sooner the better, but first, when and where did you get this digipack?
The other transfer kids. I just got a new set. Wanted to listen to them before the concert to get in the groove.
When did you get them, Jacoby?
Just a few minutes ago, I think. They're selling them right outside the Union, next to the entrance to the dance studio.
We headed towards the Union, and then I remembered. Stella, why are you dressed all in black, hovering at the edge of the woods on a Saturday night?
Fine, you clocked me. I'm a space detective too, Dick. I'm SVU, Special Vibrato Unit. Did you think they'd send one guy fresh out of the academy to solve this thing?
Wow, you are a damn good space detective. I never guessed once. Hey, look, there they are. Hey, you, stop! The moment the transfer kids saw us heading their way, they turned and hightailed it inside. We followed right on their heels into the dance studio, mirrors on every wall, making it seem as though they were everywhere and nowhere all at once. Luckily, I was trained to fight with my eyes closed, specifically for times when I'd be forced to fight bad guys in a carnival funhouse mirror room. So I leapt into action, swiftly knocking down one while grabbing the collar of the other, bringing them both down to the floor. I was struggling to keep them both down when Stella ran up to me.
Here, Dick, get their hands together. We'll use these.
Handcuffs! Oh, I still haven't gotten mine. I guess it's a good thing the GIF sent you too.
Well, I wouldn't have gotten this far without you, Dick. And you're an honorable guy for stomping out that digipack before I could get the rest of my clothes off.
Maybe next time I'll wait a little longer before coming to the rescue.
Well, why don't you go check and make sure Jacoby is okay, and I'll take these two in and get the report written up. Unless you'd prefer me to check on Jacoby.
No, good idea. Go ahead. Once I've made sure no one else is streaking, I'll call in for an extract and meet you to debrief at Academy HQ. There were no further signs of streakers, thank Pluto, and so I headed back to my dorm room, calling up the chief on my comms to request that extract and to see if Stella had made it back yet. Hey, Chief. Hope you've heard the good news by now. I'm a bit disappointed that you felt I couldn't handle this case on my own, but I understand. I'm ready for that extract. Is Stella back at HQ with the culprits yet?
Stella? What are you talking about, son?
Stella, the other space detective you sent for this job? We found the kids who were selling the corrupted digipacks. She went ahead with the suspects while I made sure everyone was okay.
Aw, Dick. You fell for the girl, didn't you? I did not send any other space detectives on this case. We didn't have the resources, and frankly, if the worst the kids are doing is streaking, the GIF doesn't really care. We just sent you as a favor to the university president, who prefers this campus clean and fully dressed.
What? But she had a fake backstory, just like a space detective, and was wearing all black, like we get taught to do in stakeouts. Heck, she even had a great pair of handcuffs, which she would have absolutely no other use for that I can think of other than detective work.
Well, I think that about wraps up this episode. Thanks for that, Eleanor. Even if it was totally made up.
You know, that actually gives me some ideas.
Coburn, no. We will not be encouraging this sort of behavior in the future, so don't even think about trying it again.
Oh boy, Colburn. Sounds like we've got ourselves a Dick Rogers purist over here.
We're on Facebook at Dick Rogers Pod, on Instagram at Dick Rogers Space Detective, and Twitter at Rogers Space. And you can join the nerds on Patreon at patreon.com/space_detective.
And make sure you join us next time for your next Dick appointment. Same space time, same space place.
This episode's nerds are Angela Ventris as Eleanor and announcer, Michael Storm as Mike Nutley, Skeevy Mike, and Jacoby, Nicholas Johnson as Dick Rogers and Coburn, Brittany Stone as Stella, Andrea Lang as Teacher, Whisperer, and Alice, Gift, Sergeant, Chief, and Charlie. Dick Rogers and the Illuminated Darkness was written by Angela Ventris with story concept by Jamie Ironside. Music by Nicholas Johnson, sound editing by Michael Storm, and audio editing by Nicholas Johnson.